The morning rush hits Earl's diner like a storm. Emma Dalton moves between tables, her apron pocket heavy with coins that never seem to add up fast enough. Coffee splashes, laughter rings, and someone snaps their fingers for a refill. Brady Cole sits near the counter, gold watch flashing as he counts his own change with mocking precision. When Emma fumbles a few cents short, his voice cuts through the chatter. "Guess counting isn't her strong suit," he says, loud enough for the whole diner to hear. The room stills. Emma's cheeks burn, but she forces a smile, whispering, "I'll get it right." Caleb Rourke, behind the grill, glances over, torn between stepping in and staying quiet. Lena Pierce at the corner booth watches with calm curiosity, noticing how Emma's fingers rearrange the coins, like a silent equation she's solving in her head. In that fragile silence, a truth hums beneath humiliation, the kind that hides brilliance waiting to be seen. The morning rush fades into the hollow quiet of afternoon. Emma Dalton wipes the counter, her motions slow, deliberate. The laughter from earlier lingers in her head like a song she can't turn off. Caleb Rourke steps out from the kitchen, holding 2 mugs of coffee. He sets one down beside her but doesn't speak. The silence between them says what words can't. He saw. And he hated himself for doing nothing. Lena Pierce approaches the counter, her tone gentle but firm. "You handled that well," she says. Emma looks up, startled, unsure whether to thank her or deny it. Lena smiles faintly. "You think in numbers, don't you?" Emma hesitates. It's not a question she's been asked before. "Sometimes," she whispers, when no one's watching. The clock ticks past 4. Outside, the street quiets, and inside, the diner hums with the slow rhythm of a place catching its breath. Emma sits at the counter, flipping through an old receipt pad, turning it into a canvas of numbers. Her pen glides across the paper, solving imaginary problems. Lena Pierce watches from her booth, intrigued. She approaches again, softly. "You ever take classes?" Emma laughs, short and embarrassed. "Used to. Didn't finish." Lena tilts her head, studying the numbers Emma's written, perfectly calculated fractions from memory. "You didn't forget," Lena says quietly. "You just stopped believing anyone would care." The words land heavier than intended, but Emma doesn't look away. Evening draws near. The diner empties, leaving echoes of clinking cups and a mop sliding across the floor. Emma sits alone in a back booth, a cold cup of coffee beside her. Caleb finishes closing up, then hesitates watching. "You shouldn't let them talk to you like that," he mutters. Emma's smile is faint, but genuine. They only see what they want to see. Lena walks back in through the door, carrying a folder under her arm. She sets it on the counter with quiet purpose. "I teach at the community college," she says. "You should come by. Just to watch." Emma looks at the folder as if it's something fragile. A door she thought had closed long ago. Later that night, the diner sits empty except for Emma. The chairs are up, the lights dimmed. She opens Lena's folder. Inside are old math problems, notes written in looping cursive, a quiet invitation. Her lips curve into a small, disbelieving smile. She picks up a pencil and begins to write, her hand steady, her focus absolute. The hum of the refrigerator is the only sound. Caleb passes by outside, pauses, and looks in through the window. He sees Emma, her face lit by a single desk lamp, numbers flowing across the page. He smiles softly to himself before walking away into the cold night. For the first time, Emma doesn't feel small. The next morning, rain taps against the diner's windows like soft applause. Emma Dalton moves through the slow rhythm of breakfast service. Her mind isn't on the orders. It's on the folder Lena Pierce left her. She replays the numbers in her head, tracing invisible equations in the air with her finger. Lena enters quietly, shaking off her umbrella, watching Emma total a complex order without looking at the register. "You did that in your head?" she asks. Emma nods, surprised at being caught. It's just practice. Lena's smile widens. It's more than that. You see patterns, don't you? Emma looks away. I see mistakes, she whispers. Lena replies, that's where brilliance begins. After the lunch crowd fades, Lena sits at a booth with Emma, a notepad between them. Numbers fill the pages, neat and exact. You never stopped doing this, Lena says. Emma shrugs, embarrassed. Sometimes it helps me think, keeps things straight. Caleb watches from across the room, his curiosity growing. You two doing taxes or something, he jokes, drying his hands. Lena grins. Math. The kind most people don't do for fun. Caleb raises a brow. Yes, I'm not most people. Emma laughs softly, the first real laugh in days. For a moment, the diner feels like a classroom, and she's not a waitress anymore. Night settles over the town. The diner's lights dim, replaced by the glow of a single lamp in the corner booth. Emma studies alone now. Lena's notes spread before her like treasure maps. Her pencil moves quickly, confident, her lips whispering numbers like a melody. She's not working, she's remembering who she used to be. Caleb steps out from the kitchen, coat in hand. Still at it? Emma looks up, smiling faintly. Can't stop now. He chuckles softly. Then don't. She watches him leave, the words echoing long after the door closes. A week passes. The folder grows thicker. During a slow shift, Lena asks Emma to try something new. A pattern recognition puzzle. Emma studies it briefly before solving it faster than Lena can check the answer. Caleb whistles low. That's not normal. Emma looks down, flustered. It's just logic. Lena shakes her head, impressed. It's intuition. You don't think like the rest of us. Emma laughs nervously. That's what everyone keeps telling me. Lena leans closer, then stop believing them. They're wrong. The words land softly, like a spark finding kindling. By closing time, the diner is silent again. Lena gathers her things, pausing at the door. There's a town event next week, a math and trivia night. You should come. Emma shakes her head, instantly retreating. That's not me. Lena smiles knowingly. It could be. When Lena leaves, Emma lingers by the counter, staring at her reflection in the glass. The rain has stopped. The street outside glows under the lamplight. Caleb appears beside her, arms crossed. You thinking about it? Emma doesn't answer, but her reflection does. Her eyes, once tired, now hold the glimmer of something daring. The diner buzzes with weekend chatter. A poster taped near the door catches Emma Dalton's eye, the annual math and trivia challenge, hosted by Brady Cole. Her breath catches. The same man who mocked her now sponsors the very event Lena Pierce mentioned. Lena enters moments later, her smile betraying a secret. I signed you up, she says casually. Emma freezes. You did what? You belong there, Emma. Emma's voice tightens. I belong here. With coffee stains and coins. Lena leans in, calm and certain. You belong wherever your mind leads you. Caleb Rourke, from the kitchen, listens quietly, and for once, believes her. The news spreads fast. By lunchtime, half the town knows Emma's name will be on that stage. Some laugh, others shrug. Caleb watches the whispers ripple through the diner like smoke. They're scared, he mutters. Emma shakes her head. They're amused. Lena sets a steaming cup in front of her. Let them laugh. They laughed at Galileo too. Emma smiles weakly. He had a telescope. I had a notepad. Same difference, Lena replies. You both see what others don't. For the first time, Emma doesn't argue. The idea both terrifies and thrills her. Night brings rain again, and the diner empties early. Emma sits with Lena at a corner booth, papers spread across the table. You're not afraid of the math, Lena says. You're afraid of being seen. Emma exhales slowly. People like Brady don't forget. They'll be waiting for me to fail. Lena meets her gaze, unflinching. Then fail brilliantly. Prove them wrong by trying. Caleb walks by, tossing a towel over his shoulder. You've already done harder things. Emma looks from Lena to Caleb. Two unlikely allies who see something she's only beginning to believe in herself. The next morning, Emma stands before the diner's mirror, adjusting her apron but seeing something else reflected. The fear of exposure, the spark of defiance. Caleb slides a small note toward her across the counter before the day begins. You don't owe them silence, it reads. She tucks it into her apron pocket, the faintest smile touching her lips. When Brady Cole enters later, she meets his gaze without flinching. Didn't think you'd have the nerve to show up, he says. Emma's answer is calm, unwavering. I didn't either, but I will. That night, Emma returns home to her small apartment above the laundromat. Rain taps against the window as she unfolds Caleb's note again, setting it beside Lena's folder. She opens a clean page and writes at the top, Bravery keyway showing up. Her pencil trembles only once before the numbers start flowing. Outside, thunder rolls, but this time it sounds like applause. Emma works deep into the night, the glow from her window spilling into the dark street below. The diner may have been her cage, but this feels like the beginning of something boundless. The diner, after hours, becomes Emma Dalton's classroom. The hum of refrigerators and flickering neon lights are her soundtrack. Lena Pierce brings new problem sets each evening, her tone part teacher, part friend. Why do you hide your talent? Lena asks softly. Emma shrugs, erasing a line of calculations. People don't like surprises, especially from waitresses. Lena leans forward, then let them be surprised. A rare smile flickers across Emma's face. In that quiet booth, surrounded by coffee cups and equations, something rare ignites. Not just knowledge, but self-worth reborn. By midweek, Caleb Rourke joins them. He doesn't understand the math, but he brings coffee and sandwiches, staying just to keep her company. You're really doing this, he says, watching her scribble. Emma doesn't look up. Trying, he grins. You've been trying since the day they called you dumb. You're just done believing it. She laughs softly. You sound like Lena. He leans against the booth. Nah. She gives you knowledge. I just keep the lights on. For the first time, Emma feels what belief looks like from the outside. Steady, warm, and quietly contagious. Lena begins testing Emma with tougher problems. Each night, the numbers grow harder. Geometry, logic puzzles, probability. Emma's confidence grows sharper, movements quicker, her laughter freer. Caleb claps when she solves one that even Lena struggles with. You realize you're teaching the teacher, he teases. Emma shakes her head, smiling. I'm just remembering. Lena closes her notebook, watching her proudly. Remembering is harder than learning. The sound of rain on the roof becomes applause. Soft, steady, endless. One evening, the power flickers during a storm. The lights go out completely. Lena groans, reaching for her bag, but Emma's voice cuts through the dark. Don't move. I can still see the numbers. By lightning's flash, she solves each equation from memory, her pencil scratching confidently on the paper. Caleb holds his phone's flashlight toward her, eyes wide. You're insane, he whispers, half in awe. Emma smiles faintly. No, just awake. When the power returns, Lena's eyes shine with tears. She whispers, You were never meant to serve tables, Emma. You were meant to stand at the front of one. Dorsey, there's a nicht orf. Nicht world for scout. By the week's end, Lena announces. Tomorrow's the challenge. Emma's pencil stills. Already? Caleb gives her a reassuring nod. You're ready. That night, Lena leaves a thick envelope on the counter labeled Final Prep. Emma doesn't open it yet. She sits alone after they're gone, the diner empty and humming softly. The math no longer scares her. The silence does. She looks out at the empty booths, the glowing sign, and whispers to herself, "They're going to see me." Her reflection in the glass whispers back, steady and brave, "Yes, they will." The civic hall buzzes with chatter. Folding chairs line the room, the air thick with coffee and small-town gossip. Emma Dalton stands near the back, holding her registration card like it might crumble in her hands. Lena Pierce stays close, her voice calm. "They're just people, Emma. You've faced worse behind that counter." Caleb Rourke squeezes her shoulder. "You've already won." Then Brady Cole's voice booms from the stage. "Welcome to the annual Math and Trivia Challenge." The crowd applauds, unaware they're about to watch the girl he once mocked rewrite the rune's definition of intelligence. The first round begins. Simple questions, polite laughter, easy victories. Emma listens quietly, fingers tapping against her knee, solving each in her head long before contestants answer aloud. Lena watches her carefully. "You're doing it again," she whispers. Emma blinks. "Doing what?" "Solving faster than they can read." When her name is called, a hush spreads. Brady raises a brow, his smirk polite but sharp. "Emma Dalton from Earl's Dime. Let's see what you've got." She steps up to the stage. Her hands don't shake. The room holds its breath. Questions fire one after another. Emma answers without hesitation. Fractions, geometry, mental sums, all flow from her like conversation. Brady's smile tightens. "Impressive," he says through clenched teeth. A murmur ripples through the crowd. The waitress who once couldn't count, change now leads the scoreboard. Caleb's hands rest on his knees, white-knuckled. Lena bites her lip, eyes glistening. When Emma finishes another perfect round, she doesn't look to the audience for approval. She looks inward, to the years she believed she wasn't enough, and realizes that belief is finally gone. Brady Cole decides to push her. "Let's make it interesting," he says, announcing a bonus question, one that's stumped every contestant for years. The crowd murmurs. He writes the problem on the board, the marker squealing. A logic sequence with no clear pattern. Emma studies it, silent. Minutes pass. Whispers rise. Caleb shifts in his seat, but Lena raises a hand. "Wait." Emma exhales slowly, then begins to write, her movements confident, elegant, like choreography. When she sets down the marker, the answer fits perfect. Brady stares, stunned, his voice small. "That's correct." The applause doesn't come right away. It starts as a breath, a gasp, then spreads, unstoppable. Emma lowers the marker, her eyes blinking against the light. Brady forces a handshake, his voice shaking slightly. "Well done, Miss Dalton." Emma meets his gaze. "It's just numbers, Mr. Cole. Anyone can learn them." She steps off the stage to Lena and Caleb, who rise to meet her. For the first time in years, she isn't hiding, and for the first time ever, the town that once laughed at her listens. The competition seems over, but Brady Cole refuses to concede. He adjusts his tie, masking his bitterness behind a grin. "Before we end," he says, "how about we test something historic?" He announces the town's unsolved challenge, a decades-old mathematical riddle said to have no solution. The crowd stirs. Lena Pierce's smile fades. "Emma, you don't need to do this," she whispers. But Emma Dalton steps forward anyway. "I want to." The hush that follows feels heavy, reverent. She looks at the impossible problem and whispers to herself, "Let's see if it really is. Or, if it really is." The problem fills the board. Strange, elegant, unsolvable. Emma studies it in silence, chalk resting loosely in her hand. Brady crosses his arms, smirking. "Don't worry if you can't," he says. "No one ever could." Emma glances at him once, calm and steady. Then maybe it's time someone did. Her hand begins to move, slow, deliberate, graceful. Each mark draws the room deeper into stillness. Numbers weave into patterns, equations unfurl into symmetry. For a moment, even Brady forgets to breathe. An hour passes in near silence. Emma doesn't stop. She writes, erases, rewrites following patterns only she seems to see. Lena whispers, she's not guessing. She's discovering. Brady paces, restless. She's stalling. But the crowd sees what he can't. Calm precision, not panic. Emma pauses once, looking up through the lights. It's not about finding the answer, she says softly. It's about understanding why it exists. And then she moves faster. Every stroke of chalk feels inevitable. Destiny written in numbers. At last, Emma steps back. The board is full. Every line, every symbol connected like music. Brady stares at it, frowning, then blinking, then silent. Lena rises to her feet, tears glimmering. Caleb whispers, "Did she solve it?" Emma exhales, the faintest smile touching her lips. It solved itself. I just listened. The moderator checks the work, lips moving in disbelief. She's right, he says quiet. Every part of it. She's right. The crowd erupts, the sound crashing like thunder through the hall. When the noise finally fades, Emma stands quietly under the lights. Brady extends his hand again, this time without arrogance, only awe. You made history tonight. Emma shakes it gently. No, I just stopped believing I couldn't. She turns toward Lena and Caleb, her face luminous under the fading light. Outside, the night has gone still. The storm has ended, leaving only clarity. For the first time in her life, Emma Dalton doesn't feel like the girl from Earl's Diner. She feels infinite. The next morning, Earl's Diner feels different. Lighter, quieter, alive in a way it hasn't in years. The townspeople trickle in, their conversations gentle, reverent. Emma Dalton pours coffee as usual. But something in her movements has changed. Measured, assured, serene. When Brady Cole enters, the diner stills. He removes his hat, humility softening his face. Coffee? Emma asks. He nods. Please. No tension, no pride. Just two people who have seen the truth. As she refills his cup, the reflection in the pot shows her smiling. The kind of smile that doesn't need permission anymore. Caleb Rourke leans on the counter, watching her work. You realize you broke the internet, right? Emma laughs softly. I just did some math. He grins. You changed this town. She shakes her head. It's not about changing them. It's about changing what I believed about me. Outside, sunlight spills across the parking lot, reflecting off puddles from last night's rain. Caleb studies her. No longer the quiet waitress, but a woman standing firmly in her own light. You're not done, are you? He asks. Not even close, she says. Mr. Thompson emerges from his office, the first time in weeks. He clears his throat. Heard what you did. Town can't stop talking about it. Emma sets down a tray, smiling politely. I just did what I love. He hesitates. You ever think about managing this place? Emma glances toward the window where sunlight cuts through the blinds. Thank you, but no. Lena Pierce enters just then, holding an envelope. She's going back to school, Lena says softly. Emma smiles. It's time. Mr. Thompson nods, quiet pride softening his weathered face. Later that afternoon, Emma walks outside, wiping her hands on her apron. The sun hangs low, painting the town in soft gold. Lena stands beside her, handing over a small card. Community college enrollment, advanced mathematics. Are you ready? Lena asks. Emma looks toward the horizon. I think I've been ready for a long time. Caleb steps out behind them, leaning on the doorframe. "Don't forget about us small-town folks when you're famous." Emma grins. "Never." The three of them stand quietly as sunlight spills across the diner sign, Earl's glowing bright for the first time in years. Evening falls. The diner closes. Emma locks the door, steps outside, and looks back through the window. Inside, the empty counter gleams beneath the soft hum of neon light. Her reflection meets her gaze. The same face, but not the same woman. She tucks the college card into her pocket and walks toward the rising dawn at the far end of the street. For years, they said she was too dumb to count change. Now, she's the woman who changed everything.